bass man Talent last night. We'd have to have an entire weekend just devoted to songs he's sung and he's written, similarly with his brother Al. On behalf of all of us here in the UK, and we mean this from the bottom of our hearts, we all love Mr. Al Kent, we all loved his music. I just wanted to give you this as a small token, Ronnie, of our esteem for your brother Al, and say, Al, we miss you, we love you, but we'll never forget your music. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Al Kent, my brother, receiving this award, I want to thank Phil Dick, the Go-Go organization, and also, most of all, I want to thank you. Thank you. I just want to tell you a little bit about Al Kent, my brother. If you don't know, he was born in Detroit in a family of 9 in Detroit, in a factory town where my father was a factory worker. But he had this desire to be a musician. And he played guitar, he played soulful music, blues. And my mother was a singer, she sung in church. So this music infused into their children. My older brother, Bob Rico, he was a guitar player like my father, but he didn't play with all strings. He played with 2 strings on his guitar. And he played with his thumb. But with that, he wrote songs. And those songs, he used me as the singer for those songs. And he took those songs and he traveled to New York because there were so many people going to Motown that he felt that there was some other place that would possibly welcome his talent. So he went to New York and he found a record company at a time when the music that we were singing, it wasn't popular music. So many of the companies were not interested in that kind of music. But there was some companies that realized that this kind of music could possibly become popular. So we got a record contract and we formed a group, and I was the lead singer of the group. And we did fairly well. We traveled. We sung with the Camp Calloway Cotton Club Review. We were one of the first groups on national television. And so we did pretty good. And the Camp Calloway music show was going to go around the world. But we had individuals in this group that was married, but I wasn't married, and we were supposed to go over into Europe, and we were going to travel for 6 months away from home. But the 3 other individuals, they said, listen, I cannot leave my wife for 6 months and go sing somewhere. So they tried to ask the company, they said, could you please pay for our wives to go and come with us? But the company said, your wives don't sing, and we're going to only pay for you. Well, they said, well, that's not right. That's not right. And they kept pressing. Please give us money for our wives to go. Well, I was married, and I was the only one that was telling them, why don't you go, make some money, then send for your wives? But they said, no. So after a while, the company said, I'm sorry, but I'm going to get somebody else. And they got another group. When they did that, I dropped out of the group. And I became a singer by myself. Well, my brother, he was looking at what was happening, and he wanted to be a singer also. And he was pretty good. Al Kent was a singer, and that was his first start into music. And we did fairly well as a singer, but it wasn't really a big success. And then so we said, my brother found an individual that was interested in trying to make money, and he said, okay, well, why don't you build a studio? And he instigated an individual to build a studio, and he built a studio, and the studio was called Golden World Records. We were in the shadows of Motown, this little small studio. But we had big ideas. We had talented musicians, singers, songwriters, and producers. And that's where Al Kent, his talent blossomed. And he became a prolific songwriter and producer. And he began to write beautiful songs. Now, eventually some of his songs became popular. And he was one of the first individuals to make a trip over to your land. And when he came to your land, but I want to say, it was because of that connection with you and our music that we became successful. So I want to say thank you.
Boy, that was long. You still got you? You want to meet the fellas? On my far left and on your far right, a gentleman, good friend of mine, his name is Jerry Brooks, ladies and gentlemen. Next to Jerry Brooks, the heart and soul of this new edition of the Fantastic Four, Mr. Leroy Seabrooks Jr. Some of the women call this guy Boogaloo. Some of them call him the Sweatmeister. Some of them, he thinks he can dance. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. James J.W. Campbell.
Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, our lead singer, Mr. Ray Ward.
Real quick, you guys remember a song called Real Humdinger? That was Al Kent. Do you remember, hey, 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 I'm sending out of that SOS, Al Kent. Oh yeah, and that's why I love you so, Al Kent. On and on and on. Okay, Tom, we can move on. Give me the C chord.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. The biggest hit Al ever had in the world. I'd like to dedicate this to all